Hey guys, Thunderhound369 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at some vintage G.I. Joe vehicles or some vintage G.I. Joe weaponry, as whichever way you want to look at them. Today we're going to be taking a look at the PAC-RATs. The PAC-RAT missile launcher, the PAC-RAT machine gun, and the PAC-RAT flamethrower. Now, I picked these guys up as a set off of eBay a few weeks ago for, the three of them come together for roughly right around, I want to say $25 for the entire set. Now, they were available separately back in 1983 for, if I remember looking correctly on yojo.com, I think back in 1983 they sold for less than $2 a piece. But they also came as a mail-away set. So I don't know if the seller sold them the mail-away set, or if he just put the three together and just sold them as a set. But either way, I'm not arguing. I'm glad to have them, because at one time I used to have the flamethrower and the the machine gun. I never had the missile launcher. Now, PAC-RAT, PAC-RAT, basically stands for Programmed Assault Computer Rapid All-Terrain. So basically these things can function in all types of weather, on all types of terrain, because they're just computer controlled. And yes, by the way, each one comes with its own remote control, which the seller did provide. So I'm glad he did provide all those as well. They can be held by your vintage G.I. Joe figures, or possibly by your new 25th, 30th anniversary figures as well. So we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at each one of these individually here. We'll just set the flamethrower and the machine gun off to the side. And we'll take a look at the missile launcher. As I said, each one comes with a little remote control. I'm not sure which remote comes with which, but it doesn't really matter. And this one, as you can see that I'm showing off with the missile launcher, looks like a little cell phone. And it's just a piece of gray molded plastic is all it is. Not a lot of detail to it. Anyway, we'll take a look at the missile launcher here. As you can see, green molded plastic body, grayish molded plastic treads with little plastic caster wheels underneath. Not a whole lot to this one. I mean, it's got some decals on it. Got a nice little star logo. Got the word PAC-RAT just in the front here. The whole assembly can rotate a full 360 degrees, as well as elevates up and down. It has 4 independent 2-stage missiles. Each one is removable. As you can see, it's got the nice little red and gray molded plastic. Back half is just one solid piece of gray molded plastic. Front half being red solid molded plastic. And like I said, they are just 2-stage rockets, 2-stage missiles. Very nice to have this in the collection. Does look good up on the shelf. So we'll go ahead and set him out to the side, and we'll get started on the machine gun here. As you can see, the remote for the machine gun. Just one piece of gray molded plastic as well. Not a lot of detail to it. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. My batteries were about to die in my camera. thought it had just enough charge to get through it, but apparently not. Figure out where we left off here. Oh yeah, we done looked at the remote, so we're taking a look at the PAC-RAT machine gun itself. As you can see, it's got nice little balloon style all-terrain tires here. They do roll. It does roll fairly decent on some surfaces, but not on this one. Not a lot of detail underneath. Got this little articulated body, as well as the turret will rotate 360 degrees. The outer guns, the outer gun barrels will elevate to there, down to here. The inner barrels are stationary, as well as the antenna does move up and down as well. As you can see, it's a nice little green molded plastic turret with gray plastic inserts here and there. Got the little stickers, extreme danger, PAC-RAT just there. Gun barrels are molded out of separate pieces. You have the one solid piece that goes through the body here in gray. You've got the red connectors and the gray barrel. And again, this is one I'm glad to have back. I did used to have one of these back in the day. I do regret giving away the vehicles that I had, because I did have quite a few G.I. Joe vehicles, and I do regret giving those away. And I'm glad I'm going back and buying some of them back. And I'm glad this was one of them that I bought back. So we'll set him off to the side here, and we'll bring in my personal favorite, the Flamethrower. Again, nice little remote control that can be held by your favorite G.I. Joe action figure character. Got the little keypad here and a little controller. Again, just one piece of molded gray plastic. Nothing spectacular. Now we'll take a look at the Flamethrower itself. Got the green molded two-piece. Well, this body is in like 3 pieces. Each piece is molded in green plastic, as well as this underpan piece is in green plastic, and everything else, the treads, the covers, the struts, the deflector shields, which are movable, are in gray molded plastic. The Flamethrower barrel, the 2 machine guns, all in red molded plastic. Beware of blast. Got the PAC-RAT logo just up here. Like I said, got these movable deflector shields, and if I'm not mistaken, this is supposed to be a spotlight, which is movable. Now the barrel, the whole entire upper body of the Flamethrower, it can rotate 360 degrees. The barrel does not elevate. Has these 2 machine guns underneath here. They can rotate side to side, but no up and down. The tracks, which are on these separate, each individual track is on a separate strut. Each strut is movable, which means you can flatten this thing out, give it a lower center of gravity, or as it falls apart on me, no big problem. We can just snap that right back on. There you have the PAC-RAT Flamethrower. bring them all in here, take one last look at all of them. Again, like I said, again, I am glad to have these in my collection now that I've restarted my G.I. Joe vintage vehicle collection now. I'm glad to have these three, especially the missile launcher, since I never did really have that one. The only two that I actually had back in '83 were these two. But I'm glad to have this one back because this was absolutely my personal favorite of the three PAC-RATs. So guys, I highly recommend, if you're a vintage G.I. Joe vehicle collector, I highly recommend picking these up. Like I said, I found the entire set for roughly $25 from one seller. I don't know how much they would go for individually, but if you can find them as a set for $20 to $30, I highly recommend jumping on that price, because that's a good deal, in my opinion, for three very good G.I. Joe vehicles or weapons, remote weapons. So guys, all I'm going to say is I'm Thunderhound369. This has been my look at the 1983 G.I. Joe PAC-RATs missile launcher, machine gun, flamethrower. I do recommend picking them up. Until next time guys, I'm out of here. See y'all.